Welcome to the Bariatric Nutrition Coach Podcast, where we empower you with weight loss surgery, nutrition knowledge, mindset advice, and inspiration so you succeed in your weight and health journey. I'm your host, Jane Stoltz, and I am a bariatric dietitian who has helped over 1,300 people on their weight loss surgery journeys. I'm also a solo mum, lover of long walks while listening to podcasts, partial to a glass of wine, and the ocean is my happy place. Join me as I dive deep into bariatric nutrition and lifestyle topics and deliver them to you in bite-sized, palatable episodes every Monday. Now let's go.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. And I think many of you are going to be very interested and want to listen to this episode because this topic, which is hair loss post-bariatric surgery, is such a common question. It's a common concern. I did a live on this topic in my Instagram a couple of weeks ago now, and there were lots of people on, a lot of comments and a lot of questions. So let's get into it. I am going to go through these questions. I'm going to answer these questions in this episode. Is it normal to lose hair after weight loss surgery? Why does it happen? When does it most likely occur? When should I or when should you be worried? And what you can do to stop hair loss. So if you've got any of those questions, keep listening, because we're going to dive in to all things hair loss after bariatric surgery. So let's go through these questions one by one, and there'll probably be a little bit of overlap, but I'll try and answer them as distinctly as I can. Is it normal to lose hair after weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery? Yes, it is. It's very normal. It's expected. And there's this whole kind of area of what's kind of normal and expected. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about when we start investigating things a little bit more, but we expect to see it and it's a very normal process. Now, it's a period of time that we do expect this to have some hair loss after bariatric surgery. I'm going to go through that in another question, but I want to let you know that also it's normal to lose hair, but also there's a great variability in what's considered, and I'm using kind of my hands for air quotes, normal. Some people have very little, don't notice much, and it's not a thing. It's not a concern. Other people notice it a lot more, seem to lose more, and it's quite a significant thing for them. It can cause a lot of self-consciousness. I find women that start their bariatric surgery with very thin hair, it can be more challenging, or longer dark hair, because you notice every hair that's coming out and it looks more significant than if you had really short blonde hair, if that makes sense, because we're really losing individual hairs. So is it normal to lose some hair in your weight loss surgery journey? Yes, it is. And the second question is, why does it happen? Now, there's different theories about what's going on, and there's probably a few different factors that are playing into this hair loss. You have surgery, so there's this kind of stress on the body. There's stress on the body with significant weight loss that happens. Also, with that significant weight loss and that stress, your body says, oh, we're losing weight really quickly. We must be in famine. Let's manage our energy expenditure and let's move more of our hair follicles into the dormant stage, and that's called the telogen stage. There's actually 4 stages in hair growth, and the last one, the dormant, is the stage where hairs fall out, the dormant. So it starts growing, it matures, grows, and then falls out. So your body says, we're in this significant weight loss, we're under some stress, let's move more hair follicles from the growth stage into the dormant stage. And so more hair follicles are being lost. Also, there is the thought there can be some hormonal changes, particularly for women that come into that bariatric first year, and women notice changes in their fertility, in their cycle, and during pregnancy, with the hormonal changes in the body, many women, including myself, lose hair. And I remember losing a lot of hair towards the end of my pregnancy around my hairline at the front. I had this really big forehead. And yeah, so there's hormonal. So is it normal? Yes. But in a realm of you'll get what a normal looks like a little bit more over this episode, because there's obviously some hair loss that is not normal, but it is normal to lose some hair after bariatric surgery. And it happens because your body's going through lots of changes. The first year, there are a lot of physical changes. There's a lot of emotional changes for you as well after your bariatric surgery. And the third question is, this kind of links in well to the other two, or particularly the first one, when does it most likely occur? Now, it most likely occurs 3 to 4 months after surgery, roughly. This is what I have experienced with my clients over 6 years, over 1,600 clients. 3 to 4 months after surgery through to the 6-7 month after surgery, around that kind of window of time. So not from week 2 post-surgery, but weight loss has started and there is that flow-on effect from having surgery, 3 to 4 months through to 6-7 months. I've heard other people say it can go normally, naturally up to 9 months. So we're just talking about a chunk of time that is, as long as it's a discrete or fairly discrete amount of time, it's not going on past 12 months and those things. So that is what we're first looking at as a kind of a normal period. How that your hair loss is slowing down and stopping is that you will notice and see little hairs around, often are they most visible around the front of your hairline. Sometimes even you might blow dry your hair and you can see little hairs kind of sticking up and around the front. And then that sign that it's tapering off and its hair loss is slowing down. Generally after 6 months, it slows down and it stops, because that also matches in with a really natural kind of slowing down of your weight loss. Okay, so that's when it does occur naturally, normally. Can you be a little bit outside these 3 to 4 months to 6-7 months? Yes, you can. And so if somebody's getting a lot of hair loss, one of my clients, and they're really concerned and we're looking at things, we just go, okay, let's just cover off and put your mind at ease. You're getting regular pathology and your bloods are normal. You're taking your bariatric vitamins, you're getting a good amount of protein in your diet, and all is good, okay? All will be okay. And it can be very upsetting. People can become very self-conscious, and I totally understand. So we want to put our mind at rest that there's nothing going on to be exacerbating this hair loss, okay? If somebody starts losing hair at 12 months after surgery, say they've lost some hair and then they've stopped and they're losing more hair, we're definitely digging into, pathology. Are your blood results coming back good in the normal ranges? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you getting enough protein? Are you healthy and looking after yourself? And then we know it's all okay. But we'd definitely be exploring some of those factors if hair loss was starting kind of later on down the journey or coming back, okay? But hormones can play a part. So we just ensure that there's nothing nutritionally that could be causing or exacerbating your hair loss. And the fourth question, I've kind of touched on it, but when should I be worried? So for me, if your hair loss, as I've said, does not slow down and stop before that 12-month mark, or you have that hair loss, it slows down, stops, and then it starts again. If it starts again, we want to really look at what else is going on, okay? And we want to ensure that first, nutritionally, everything's okay, and then you might be able to check in with your primary care provider or your bariatric centre to see nothing else is going on. We just want to ensure there's no nutritional deficiencies. There may be hormonal reasons, which are more of a medical, just to be looked at in that area. So that is really, I suppose, super important. And for me, it's about putting your mind at rest that this is a transient occurrence. It's happening for a period of time. Yes, it really does affect some people, particularly women, and it can make many women go to the hairdresser and get a different style. Hairdressers can be really helpful. For one, styling your hair slightly differently, products to thicken your hair, make you feel a bit more comfortable. But also they can be great because they are the ones that can really kind of see and say, I think your hair, it's getting thicker or it's slow. I can see some little hairs coming through. And that can be really helpful. So for me, it's more about putting your mind at ease that you're doing everything you can. So healthy diet, protein, your bariatric multis have a lot of great things in them, including zinc, which is good for hair growth. So we just need to write it out.
Now tell me, is this you? You have had your bariatric surgery and you're feeling lost, you're lacking support and you don't know what to eat and when. Or you may have noticed after your surgery, your hunger and cravings have started to return and you are scared you won't reach your goals. You may have had some weight regain and you want to stop the weight regain and lose some more weight. You may be pre-surgery and you want support to be fully prepared for your weight loss surgery journey. If any of these sound like you, then listen up. I have developed my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp just for you. My coaching program provides education, coaching and community for people getting ready for their weight loss surgery and at every stage after their surgery. There are 4 key areas that I focus on with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp. One is the bariatric nutrition basics. You will learn what and how to eat so you feel satisfied, reach your protein and fluid goals, and have less cravings, and know how to manage your hunger in the future. Meal ideas and meal planning. You will learn to plan meals and snacks that you like, so you have great options on hand when it comes time to eat. Also, we focus on mastering weight regain habits, identifying any habits that are stopping you from reaching your goals, and create manageable strategies to get back on the straight and narrow so you can manage your weight for the rest of your life. And also, I focus with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp on learning to trust your body and food. Start to enjoy your food again by relearning to listen to your body cues so you have less guilt and improve your relationship with food and your body. If you are ready to maximize your weight loss surgery results, feel confident in your journey, and be led with support and expert guidance, then the Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp is for you. If you would like to know more about my coaching program, check out the link in the show notes.
If I answer this last question, it will bring everything together. And the question is, and it's a very common question, what can I do to stop hair loss? And I know, because I am in different bariatric forums, in groups online, and I know people say, I bought this shampoo. I started taking hair supplements and with lots of zinc and other things in, and it worked. But I'm going to put to you that what happens is that people have a bit of hair loss and then it continues. And it's more towards the end of that period that it's starting to lose hair that they say, I'm going to do something. I'm going to go and get something like hair products and start taking extra supplements. And it naturally, at the same time, it's naturally starting to diminish and stop. There is no research that those general lotions, I call them lotions and potions, work. Is there research to say collagens are good for hair, skin and nails? Yes, overall, but they're not going to stop you from your body moving more of those hair follicles into the dormant stage, and as a result of the stress from bariatric surgery or from hormones, they will help what you've got be healthy, hair, skin and nails. Also, we don't want to be taking supplements with lots and lots of zinc in, because if you take high doses of zinc, it can actually throw out your levels of copper, because zinc and copper are related metabolically. And you'll find that a good bariatric multivitamin has got some good zinc in and has got some copper in, and they're in the right proportions. So a good bariatric multi is doing a lot of really important things for you, including giving you the vitamins, so the minerals needed for good hair growth. But unfortunately, there's nothing shown that will stop this hair loss. It's about being confident and putting your mind at rest. As I said before, that there's nothing metabolically or nutritionally wrong or not going to kind of improve in time, and that doesn't need to be corrected, so to speak, like a deficiency. Yeah, if you start losing hair after 12 months, and we're looking at things, we are looking to see if there's anything else going on. But I'm talking about this very normal pattern, a very normal time of hair loss. So I do say to my clients, we don't need to go and spend money on lotions and potions because there's no evidence that they work. Okay, take a good bariatric multi, get adequate protein, drink your water, go to sleep, look after your body, all of those things, and get your pathology done regularly. And then that there's nothing else involved, and it's about riding it out. And what I always remind people of when I'm talking about this, I've never had a client that got to after their hair starts growing back and they say, this is the thinnest I've ever had in my life. And you say, well, would you rather have not lost your weight and still had your thick hair? And they say, no, never. They've never regretted having surgery for the hair loss. And what it means is there's pros and cons to things, and it's not a positive, but no, it does come back. And really the journey about where you're going to kind of land and settle and maintain at is longer term after bariatric surgery than many people think. It's kind of a couple of years after surgery before you kind of go, I know where I'm going to settle, and you really find that long-term groove. And your hair will have improved significantly. And that's when you really can look back and say, it was all worth it. But it can be, I know, a big concern for many people. It can be quite significant for many. Other people, not so much. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. It's not my longest podcast, but I wanted to hopefully give enough detail across all these questions that are really commonly associated with the topic of hair loss, because some people are very concerned about it pre-surgery. Some people not really thinking much about it. Some people get a lot affected by it, other people not so much. So it's a big topic though, particularly for women. It's a concern, and it can cause people to feel quite self-conscious, and that's on top of the weight loss that already can make people a bit more self-conscious. Like, you're happy you're losing weight, but then there's extra attention and comments, and some people are really comfortable with that, and that's great. Other people are losing weight for themselves and their health and all those things, and that extra attention is not what they want. So feeling comfortable in your body, and when your hair changes as well, can be that extra thing that you just don't want or need. But I think understanding that it's normal, understanding that it's just part of the process, and that it is a moment in time can help. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I so appreciate your support. I appreciate all the lovely messages I get about people listening to the podcast and finding value in my podcast. So yes, thank you so much. If you would like to share my podcast with your community on social media, please maybe just take a screenshot of my podcast in the app that you listen to your podcast, post it, tag me in, and I will give you a special shout out here in one of the episodes. So thank you so much, and I really look forward to being back in your ears next week. Bye for now.